Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, this is Prime News on SABC 3. Here are the top stories making headlines this evening.
I love you, Daddy. Thank you for doing everything for us, Grayson. I want Daddy to come back. Love you, Daddy, Oliver.
A memorial and funeral service was held in Brakpan on the East Rand for Marius van der Merwe, who testified before the Madagascar Commission as witness D. Van der Merwe was gunned down in front of his wife and children earlier this month.
And one of the suspects was seriously injured. It's a 40-year-old.
Two courier vehicles robbery suspects have been fatally wounded and one injured during a shootout with police and private security officers in Kempton Park in Ekurhuleni.
There were no vibrators that were used to ensure proper compaction and to avoid that air entrapment does not occur.
And preliminary findings into the deadly collapse of a 4-story building in Verulam, north of Durban, point to a sudden structural failure, possibly triggered by formwork giving way under wet concrete. At the back of those headlines, it has just gone 8 o'clock. Good evening and a warm welcome to Prime News on 3. My name is Paulette Nell. Great to be in your company this evening as we review the day's developments. With that said, let's delve right in. We begin here tonight. A memorial and a funeral service were held in Brakpan on the East Rand for Marius van der Merwe, who testified before the Madagascar Commission as witness D. Van der Merwe was gunned down in front of his wife and children earlier this month. Just weeks before he was killed, he testified before the Madagascar Commission about the alleged rot in Ekurhuleni, alleged rot in the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police Department.
Well, it was an emotional send-off. His family struggling to come to terms, while friends and members of the community all in attendance to pay their last respects, and an emotional tribute from his wife.
Right now, my world is shattered, and I feel lost and hopeless without you. But I know you are here with us, watching over the boys and I, never leaving our side. I love you, Daddy. Thank you for doing everything for us, Grayson. I want Daddy to come back. Love you, Daddy, Oliver.
While police are still investigating the circumstances surrounding Van der Merwe's murder, they've taken in some persons of interest for questioning, but those individuals have since been released. Police had been browsing through CCTV footage for clues on the assassination. They've said that the net is closing in on Van der Merwe's killers. So also in attendance at the service were members of the Madagascar Commission of Inquiry.
We've come to pay our respects to the family and to offer our support. So we really don't want to be saying anything more than that.
We have been waiting for the moment where we could finally say our goodbyes and lay our friend and family member to rest. And that was it. It is now done. And going forward, we will just be supporting and loving our friends and family.
So during his evidence before the Madagascar Commission, Van der Merwe alleged that the suspended Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department Deputy Chief Julius Mkwanazi had instructed him to dispose of the body of Emmanuel Mbenze, who died during an interrogation allegedly at the hands of police. Crisalda Lewis, SABC News in Brakpan.
Tributes continue pouring in following the death of popular podcaster and media personality Warwick Stock, better known as DJ Warras. The 40-year-old was gunned down in broad daylight opposite Kempton Centre in Johannesburg CBD yesterday. Police say Warras was approached by 3 unknown suspects before being shot. The motive for the killing remains unclear, and a manhunt is now underway to track down those responsible. Fellow broadcaster DJ Spoo has described Warras as a passionate man full of life and energy and a voice that connected deeply with South Africans.
One of the things that I loved is the love that he had for the city of Johannesburg. I grew up around the city as well. I moved around the city when I didn't have a car, even when I was still a student. A lot of us come to Joburg to seek for those opportunities, or maybe we're coming here for education. And having to see people like him who are embracing Joburg right now in 2025, showing love to Joburg. I'm sure you also might have seen a picture of him in the middle of the streets in Joburg. I think he was raising his hand or something, saying, "This is my favorite city in the world. I love this city. I love Joburg too." And I could see myself in him every time he would express the passion that he had for the city. But the sad thing is that he would die in the very same city in such a tragic way.
In news just in, Gauteng Provincial Commissioner Lieutenant General Tumi Mtombeni says various multidisciplinary task teams have been systematically following information of robberies around Gauteng, which led them to 2 courier vehicles robbery. This after 2 suspects were fatally wounded and 1 injured during a shootout with the police and private security in Kempton Park today.
Motor vehicles robberies is one of our focus area. With the multidisciplinary team, of course, our TRT, the counterintelligence from Air Office, the DPCI from Gauteng, known as the Hawks, as well as the security industry supporting the eyes and ears, the tracker team for Gauteng. They were systematically following the information and, of course, assisted by Gauteng Traffic Police, the Air Wing. Following this information around Gauteng, but of course in Ituatwa, where they pick up 2 motor vehicles, and of which they happen to systematically follow this one. It came here on R25. As they try to stop the vehicle, or they try to indicate the instruction that the vehicle must stop, the driver did not stop. As a result, there was a shooting which ensued. The police retaliated, and out of that, we had fatalities of 2 of the suspects. 2 pistols were found, as well as a reflectors jacket and a blue light. And one of the suspects was seriously injured. It's a 40-year-old, and then on the checking of the identity, we realized there is a particular suspect. He is the owner of the vehicle. We believe that these are the people who have been causing problems in terms of the courier vehicles robbery.
To this now, Public Works and Infrastructure Minister Dean McPherson says those who flout regulations or act negligently on construction sites leading to building collapses should face criminal charges. This after preliminary findings into the deadly collapse of a 4-story building in Verulam, north of Durban, point to a sudden structural failure possibly triggered by formwork giving way under wet concrete. McPherson and several other officials held a briefing in Mayville in Durban to reveal the results of preliminary investigations into the disaster. 5 people were killed and 14 injured when the multi-story structure, a Hindu temple under construction, collapsed last Friday.
We have established that when the building collapsed, they were undertaking the pouring of cement on the top levels. There were no vibrators that were used to ensure proper compaction and to avoid that air entrapment does not occur.
Preliminary evidence, including available video footage, points to a sudden structural failure, most likely triggered by a formwork or shuttering failure during the pumping of wet concrete.
The building was erected without the necessary approvals from eThekwini municipality, and the unauthorized work was not observed during the course of construction.
After a short breather, President Cyril Ramaphosa has addressed the opening of the virtual extraordinary summit of SADC heads of state and government on the deployment of a technical mission for fact-finding in Madagascar. Let's tell you more after the break. Welcome back to this now. President Cyril Ramaphosa has addressed the opening of the virtual extraordinary summit of SADC heads of state and government on the deployment of a technical mission for fact-finding in Madagascar. This after Madagascar experienced the political challenges which resulted in the formation of a transitional government.
The developments in Madagascar in September this year brought to the fore the urgent need to accelerate the implementation of our regional development objectives to attain our SADC Vision 2050. This vision seeks to achieve a region whose peoples live in peace and harmony and can realize their economic potential. Through our SADC Protocol on Politics, Defense and Security Cooperation, we seek to promote and maintain peace, security, democracy, and political stability in our region. The protocol also calls for solidarity amongst our people. Over the past years, we have made progress towards achieving these goals, notably with respect to consolidating democracy, promoting good governance, ensuring electoral integrity, and deepening a culture of human rights.
Prominent musician Lehlohonolo Chauke, widely known by his stage name Shabba Berna, has been denied bail by the Polokwane Magistrates Court. Shabba Berna is facing multiple charges, including 3 of attempted murder, possession of an illegal firearm, and assault GBH.
Victims were mostly his supporters, and as a well-known artist, they could not mistakenly identify him, so the identity more often appears accurate in the circumstances.
The atmosphere in court was tense as the Polokwane Magistrate Court denied Shabba Berna bail. Magistrate Godfrey Ozi said Shabba Berna had failed to provide exceptional evidence and to show that it will be in the interest of justice for him to be released on bail. He added that the firearms used in the attempted murder cases had not been found. Neshi Ozi also said Shabba Berna is likely to commit similar violent cases as his victims were mostly his fans. He denied him bail and postponed the matter for further police investigations.
And having said that, the application for bail for the accused is hereby refused.
The NPA in Limpopo has welcomed the court's decision.
Failed to adduce the reason which can satisfy the courts to release him on bail. Remember that in court there were lots of charges which has been given to the court that by the time when he was released on bail in different courts, he was committing further offenses. That is why he was denied bail today.
However, the Limpopo artist movement has expressed unhappiness.
We thought today a miracle will happen, but what I can show the public over this is not over. I've been engaging with the family and the advocate, so we are taking it to Polokwane High Court.
Shabba Berna is expected to be back in court on the 18th of February 2026. For SABC News, I am Rendani Ralipaswa in Polokwane.
Eastern Cape communities whose houses were damaged by severe weather yesterday say it will be difficult for them to recover from their losses. Heavy storms destroyed a significant number of houses in the Ngushwa, Raymond Mhlaba and Amahlabathini local municipalities under the Amatole district municipality last night.
The residents are picking up the pieces and trying to get things back to normal. Close to 100 villages have been affected by the storms. This is an unbearable situation for the victims, as many of them have no source of income to repair their houses.
My furniture is broken and I have no place to stay. I am currently residing with neighbors. I'm hopeless and couldn't sleep last night, and even my neighbor does not have enough space.
I came here to spend December holidays and Christmas, but now I don't know how am I going to spend my Christmas without a house. This is going to be a worse Christmas for me. I don't know what to do.
And roof.
A significant number of people were left destitute. The Amatori District Municipality says it has roped in various departments to assist the victims.
Having seen that there are a number of homeless individuals, we have taken a decision that we place them in community halls and we're going to supply them with food and blankets as a temporary measure.
Lubabalo Tata, SABC News, Eastern Cape.
The Umkhonto weSizwe Party says it will never tire from using law enforcement institution and legal platforms to register their concern where there is wrongdoing. MKP, led by its acting parliamentary leader David van Rooyen, visited the Investigating Directorate Against Corruption IDEC offices in Pretoria to lodge an affidavit raising concerns about the evidence alleged during the Nkabinde Commission.
A formal affidavit in terms of Section 27 of the National Prosecuting Authority Act with the Investigating Directorate Against Corruption, commonly known as IDEC, arising from a sworn evidence placed before the Nkabinde Commission of Inquiry relating to the killing of a minor during a police operation in KwaZulu-Natal.
After the break, a winning start to the Africa Cup of Nations campaign in Morocco against Angola on Monday is a non-negotiable. So says the Bafana Bafana coach, Hugo Bruce. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. To this now, oil prices spiked by 1.5% in early market trade. This follows United States President Donald Trump's announcement of a total and complete blockage of all sanctioned oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela. Brent crude oil traded at just over $60 a barrel.
Recognize that currently Venezuela accounts for no more than 1% of global oil supply. So this is not a big deal, and the bigger picture is that oil prices are at their lowest levels in 4 years at the moment, and that augurs extremely positively for further fuel price cuts, especially when taken in conjunction with the strengthening of the rand. So yes, there's been a little bit of an interruption to the downward trend of oil prices in the past day, but and one will have to see how this plays out. But it's not a major factor because Venezuela has, even though it's got the world's biggest oil reserves, has become a very small player in the oil market as a result of geopolitical factors in recent years.
And on that note, let's now look at your latest market update as recorded at 7:30 this evening. And now for your sports update this evening. A winning start to the Africa Cup of Nations campaign in Morocco against Angola on Monday is a non-negotiable. So says Bafana Bafana coach Hugo Bruce. The Belgian mentor also shed light on the team's bonus saga, which usually rears its ugly head ahead of major international tournaments.
Bafana Bafana was given a fitting send-off at the OR Tambo International Airport ahead of their departure to the Afcon tournament in Morocco. Among those present at the airport were fans Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi, the South African Football Players Union's new president Tulani Hlatsuayo and Teboho Munyai. Bafana coach Hugo Bruce says the team will make the country proud, but he emphasized the importance of winning their first match against Angola on Monday.
It's very important that we don't lose that game. We saw it the last Afcon, we lost against Mali, and then you play the second game from 3. You play already with a knife here. And it is this we have to avoid, so let's win Angola.
The players have promised to fly the country's flag high in Morocco and urged South Africans to rally behind the team.
We're going out there to make you guys proud and, just keep supporting the team, keep believing, and we're quite sure that we'll bring that trophy back at home.
I think
with the support that we're getting from, the whole South Africa, I think we're ready for the tournament, and yeah, we're gonna make sure we make them proud.
Let's do #Bafana Bafana, #Afcon, #Safa, and write positive messages to our boys and support them, rally behind them, motivate them, just motivate them with the class of 1996 to say that it's doable. Some of them were not born when 1996 the cup was won, but they can still do it.
Pacing Cartwell, SABC News, Johannesburg.
All the best to Bafana. Let's now look at what the weather has in store for us. It's over to the weather desk.
Good evening and welcome. Let's take a look at what to expect weather-wise for tonight as well as tomorrow. A cold front has brushed the southern parts of the country, with it some isolated showers and rain along the southern coastal regions and the southern interior of the Western Cape. Otherwise isolated to scatter showers and thunder showers through the central and northeastern parts, but mainly widespread in places over KwaZulu-Natal and the extreme eastern parts of the Eastern Cape. Now tomorrow, starting off with early morning fog patches along the eastern escarpment. Otherwise, a fine day over the western parts of the country. Partly cloudy skies expected through the central, northern, as well as the eastern parts, with isolated showers and thunder showers in places over the Free State and the northwest, becoming scattered over Limpopo into Gauteng, Mpumalanga, and the extreme northeastern parts of the Eastern Cape. Widespread showers and thunder showers forecast in places over KwaZulu-Natal. Now, for this evening, South African Weather Service has issued a broad warning of severe thunderstorms. It is a yellow level 2 warning from the northern parts of the Eastern Cape into the Free State, the northwest, reaching Gauteng and Limpopo, becoming an orange level 5 over the interior of KwaZulu-Natal. Tomorrow, that warning still over the northeastern as well as the eastern provinces. Those severe thunderstorms possibly resulting in heavy downpours of rain, strong damaging winds, large amounts of small hail or excessive lightning. Overnight temperatures seen Bloemfontein and Pretoria down to 16, Musina an overnight low of 21, tomorrow peaking at 29. It will be a cool day in Mbombela with 23. Very hot conditions expected in Springbok with 36. Worcester peaking at 35. And then on to Friday, seeing showers and thunder showers over the central as well as the northeastern parts of the country. That's your weather. Good night.
That's where we're going to leave it for tonight. Much gratitude for joining us. Let's meet again next time. For now, it's goodbye. God bless. Pula.